number 7. All right, who can beat them? Now, here's a look at the remaining 7 games after the bye week. At Buffalo, just got to pay attention to detail there. And then come home to play the struggling Eagles. At Baltimore on Monday night versus Pittsburgh. The Jets, the Dolphins, and then on the 29th of December, the New York Giants. So how do you read the rest of the schedule, Tim?
The 2 games that concern me there are obviously Pittsburgh, because Pittsburgh lit it up last week, and when they get hot, they can certainly put some points on the board. And thankfully, we're playing them, in Foxborough. That's going to be a tremendous help. But that's a good football team, and anything can happen when you go up against a good football team. And then the last game of the season, the Giants game.
Let's talk about the last game. If they're 15-0 and they've clinched everything, and including the home field for the playoffs, which they certainly have a very good chance of having done by that time, does Bill Belichick say, "Take a seat, Tom, and here's Matt"? And if he does that, does the owner say, "Wait a minute, I'd like to go 16-0"?
Yeah, no. Nobody's if they're 15-0 going into that game, ain't nobody sitting down.
Even Bill would acknowledge that this is something to play for here.
And I think, and he'll deny it till the end. Okay. But I think, getting the undefeated season would mean more to him than just winning the Super Bowl. I honestly, because he's won the Super Bowl. I mean, how many Super Bowls do you have to win?
Well, before every one you win, it puts you closer to the top of the line on the Mount Rushmore thing. He's up there now, but he can knock one out.
I understand, but to take Don Shula's place as the
if Brady were
coach.
to be held out in the last week, that would mean to be off for 3 weeks because we know they're going to have a first round bye. That's not likely. Maybe you could, but how about half a game? And maybe half a game? I'm just wondering. I don't know.
They could, but I think he's going to try to win that football game and play it just like he would any other game because, to me, that's a big, big milestone.
Do you think that this team could possibly have a mental letdown against Philadelphia or somebody else at home as opposed to the tougher games on the schedule, which obviously appear to be Pittsburgh at home and at Baltimore? Do you think there's any possibility this team could just take a mental siesta someday with the way things are?
Yes and yes. Yeah, I mean, that can always happen in the NFL. I don't care who. If you got Bill Belichick as your coach, you got Tom Brady as your quarterback, it happens. And it's not so much people think, they overlooked them. It's not necessarily a mental breakdown. It's just all of a sudden the stars align and the ball,
We had that game last year at Miami.
Yeah, you drop the ball and it rolls the wrong way and you fumble a punt and a ball tips off somebody else's hands and next thing you know, it's a different football game and the game got away from you. That happens in the NFL, and the level of talent in the NFL is so even. And even though you look at the Patriots being so dominating, it's not as dominating as you think.
Okay.